Unsyndicated presents Off the Air with Sean Baligian.
Hi, how are you? Glad you could join us tonight. So much to talk about. I know most of you are watching the Pistons game right now, but I wanted to get on and talk right now because, quite frankly, I'm not going to get a chance to do it later. So much going on tonight. These are the kind of nights. What was the term? Sporgy. Todd, am I allowed to say that? It's a sporgy. It's like a sports orgy. Hi, Eric. You have the Pistons going on right now. I know that's drawing most people's attention. By the way, I'm one person. I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm not joking when I say this. I'm very happy that the Pistons are getting attention again. I really am. I'm very, very happy. Maple Leaf got it done. Got it done. Congratulations, Maple Leaf. Your second playoff series win in 21 years. That's awesome. The parties will be out of control. The parade goes down Yonge Street. You won a playoff series again. What is that? Two in the last 3 years? Is that 2 in the last 3 years, if I'm not mistaken? They're so adorable. Pinch a little cheek. Pinch a little cheek. What's up, Eric? What's up, Tom Robinson, home of the London Knights, who are just a wagon right now. As Dave said, the Leafs won. Some damn good hockey tonight, no doubt about that. I'm hoping for a couple wins tonight, so there's a couple game sevens on Saturday. Now that my team's out of it, yeah, I want game sevens, right? I want to get the boys over the house on Saturday and have one of our little wacky, zany watch parties and grill a bunch of sausages and everything. Yeah, let's go. Unbelievable. And the Pistons. Last check. I wanted to do this now. Maple Leaf, of course, wins 4-2. Later on tonight, Stars and Avs. That should be underway momentarily. Kings and Oilers. We need the Avs to win at home to force a game 7, and we need the Kings to win on the road to force a game 7. All right? Last check, Pistons down by 11. It is unbelievable how stinky they are at LCA. It really, really stinks. Eric said, are you going to join the Habs on the golf course? Yeah, they too much. Not surprised. They are so young and so talented. The youngest team ever to make the playoff, average age. Isn't that funny? So much youth and talent. They are going to be a wagon very soon. Maybe not next year, 2 years. Legit run at the Stanley Cup again. Don't forget they were there in 2021. That was kind of a miracle, though, with 2 guys on their last leg in Shea and Carey Price. This is a very young and exciting group. So I think this division is going to be so much fun when I think of the Atlantic Division moving forward because the Red Wings are going to be better. Are they going to be good enough to make the playoffs yet? I don't know. Like, honestly, I sorry if you guys have been listening to me. I've been saying it for 2 years. The problem with this division right now, is Ottawa and Montreal are in this division. They're doing the rebuild better. They are. So that's going to be part of the problem, but I think it's going to be fun to watch that moving forward. David said 2-3 years. Eric said ole, ole, ole. London and Oshawa, that should be a good series. Maybe London will actually mix in a loss, Tom, right? Paul said Willie. Yes. Ray said shoo. All jokes aside, Paul. Oh, David, I love to hear you say that. Montreal is the next big thing for the NHL. I think even our Leaf fans in the chat kind of have to say, you better watch out for the Habs. I think even our Leaf fans in the chat would say that. So if anybody wants to call me a slapdick or something like that, you can go right ahead. But hey, you know what? All jokes. I think I told my buddy Paul in the chat. It sucks that the way they lost Game 5, that was awful. Where your best players, the old saying, your best players have to be your best players. Their best players were their worst players. And it's not like there's a history there. I didn't think they'd lose the series, though. I didn't. I didn't. So that's the way it goes. Kevin said, "Go Leafs, go." So that it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. All jokes aside, it'll be interesting to see where things go now. Can I ask you guys a question? And I'm being very serious. This is for my Maple Leaf friends. This is for my Maple Leaf friends. Are you guys ready? And I'm going to ask you guys, Panthers or Leafs, who you got? I'm serious. Panthers or Leafs, who you got? Dave said, I said 2 out of 3 years for Leafs winning a series for Leafs. Montreal, they got some killers on that team. Yeah, I like Montreal's team a lot. Need a little more depth. I think that's where Owen Beck steps in from Saginaw. He played in Laval this year. I'll be really interested to see where Jack Guy's brother goes. He's been playing well. There's a lot to like. There's still more pieces coming. And it was funny when you put Demidov in a position where he can succeed, what you saw out of him. But that is going to be very, very fun to watch how that goes. Pistons, as I said, I don't care. I'm glad that a lot of you guys are watching the game right now. I will get back to it. End of third. Knicks are up 96-85. Is it safe to say that we're growing? We're getting a pretty good rivalry with the Knicks? Because I don't know about you, I'm growing a really strong hatred for Jalen Brunson in particular. I am growing a really, 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 really strong hatred for Jalen Brunson. It was there before, but my goodness gracious, it's really there now. So we'll see. Sunday was the killer for CH. It was, Dave. Tom Wilson's hit. They were in control of that game. They were, mere minutes away, 17 minutes away from tying that series up, and it's anybody's series. They learned an important lesson this year, and I think you saw it rear its ugly head last night too. You can get away with coming from behind on some less than teams like they did the last month of the year. They'd have horrible first periods, oftentimes down 2 goals, and they would come roaring back. You're not going to get away with that against a good team like the Caps. You're not going to get away with it against a good team like the Leafs. It's not going to happen. Is Jack still hired by the Tigers? Yes, he's still employed by the Tigers. He's been working there for 2 weeks. Thank you for asking. Leafs, it's their year. Stolarz is good. I've seen it before. Kevin, and I know you guys are going to say that I'm being mean or I'm being a Habs fan. I think you guys are soft. Sorry. Until the core 4 prove me wrong, I'm going to continue to say that. I've seen it too many times out of these guys. I just have. Minus Nylander. I think Willie kind of gets thrown in sometimes for not good reason. or at least not as much as the other. I'm going to be really intrigued with the Florida series. I tell you what, if you knock off Florida, things are going to get really interesting. Because I like your chances against Washington or Carolina. And I picked Carolina. Remember, I mean, consider the source. I picked Carolina. But I think the way that Stolarz can play and you guys survive that first round scare that more often than not, does the Maple Leaf in. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we play D like we did versus Ottawa, blocking shots. Stolarz didn't let in a bad goal. Dallas closes tonight. You imagine if that Nylander roster issue wasn't caught and his brother was in the lineup. That's inexcusable. And I like, Hubie, I like what Lalonde said about that. You have to have a system in place where you have one coach do it, another coach do it. Hell, grab a dressing room attendant, right? And just make sure that happens. Pistons won, 18 last year? I gave them a 40% shot against what I think is a suspect Knicks team. Nick, that's what ticks me off, though. Like, the Knicks are very beatable. Does that make sense? Alan says, hi, everyone. Tammy says, let's go Panthers. I love the Panthers. I do. I love the way the Panthers play. They're a throwback. Seriously. Reports of their demise are greatly exaggerated, too. They didn't look like they ran out of gas. They made Tampa look silly. Could Stolarz be this year Hill did for Vegas? He could. I don't like that matchup. I mean, Ray, you tell me. I don't like that matchup against Florida. If you get past them, Maple Leaf might be going to the Stanley Cup final. And I'm not joking when I say that. Logan Thompson came up huge last night. He was unbelievable. And you know what that comes back to, Flea? It comes back to what I was saying just a couple minutes ago. All jokes aside, you can't dig yourselves holes like that and expect to come back against a good team like the Caps. It happened consistently down the stretch for that team. They would have an awful first period. Hell, remember the game when they hosted Detroit? What did Detroit outshoot them? 28-5 in the first or whatever the hell it was? Jeez, oh, Pete. I'm going to read some more of your comments. I'm glad you guys are so engaged. You're just doing the same thing I am. And Todd, we're probably going to have like terrible viewership. Hopefully people catch it later. But I think there are a lot of people kind of doing what I'm doing right now, and that's watching a plethora of games. There are a multitude of games to watch. Let's talk about Legacy. Did you know that thousands of Metro Detroiters have already called our friends at Legacy to get help with their home and auto insurance? Listen, these guys get it done. One of Southeast Michigan's top independent insurance agents, they provide a full-service, one-stop solution for all of your insurance needs, personal and business, large and small. I guarantee you they're all watching playoffs right now, basketball or hockey. Legacy has helped our listeners by fixing mistakes other agents have made, asking the right question to get the right coverage put in place to properly protect you, and help save you some money. Chances are, if you haven't checked your policies in the last year, you're probably paying too much and you could be underinsured. What are you waiting for? Give Legacy a chance to help with your home, your cars, life insurance, Medicare enrollment, or your business insurance needs. Call them today, 586-209-4106, or visit legacypartnersins.com to get started with your quotes. Listen, you guys, I'm telling you, tell them that we sent you. They're going to take care of you. They took care of us. Not only did we get the immediate cash savings immediately, but we also got the savings on our coverage as well. Honestly, ask for Dave, ask for Alex, ask for any of these guys. They got your back. Dave said Leafs can't play consistently. I think every Leaf fan has to acknowledge that. But hey, you know what? You stay healthy with the firepower that they have and getting the goaltender out of Stolarz. I'll tell you what, it could be interesting. Stephen A. was the only New York guy giving Detroit a shot. You know what's really funny, Nick? I got some heat from New Yorkers on Twitter. I really and truly I did, because I called the Knicks soft. How on earth could anybody call the Knicks soft with all the years and years and years and years and years of playoff success? Who could ever say such a thing? That they don't crumble under the weight of the pressure of playing in the world's most famous arena. The Knicks choking is like, sorry, Maple Leaf, you won tonight, so I'm going to leave you out of this. Is like the Jets choking, although the Jets aren't choking either.
Such son of beats all night. Chick.
How good is Teddy KGB? Are we allowed to have that conversation? No? Pistons down 101-92. Todd, can we have that conversation? Teddy KGB, one of the greatest characters in motion picture history, YRN. Let's be honest, Malkovich is unbelievable, right? Isn't he? Everything that Malkovich does, he's unbelievable. Tanev brings grit to stand up to Kachuk. Ray, I think you and I will disagree there. How's that? I'm just going to, I think the Leafs are a lot softer than the Panthers. I don't think I'm going out on a limb there. I don't. Alan said, how do you like the first month of the Tiger season? How could you dislike it? Especially with all the injuries. Like, I'm not being funny. Our buddy Mike Bohenick is coming back next Wednesday, by the way, Todd. Mike Bohenick is coming back next Wednesday, so we'll do something Wednesday. I'll see if Shep can do something Tuesday again. Because, you know, I have this, no, you know what? I am free Monday. So we'll do something with Shep, and then Tuesday maybe we'll do a hockey show, and then Wednesday I'll do something with our buddy Bohenick. We'll talk Tigers. How's that sound? But no, really, that's I'm not being funny to you, Alan. How could you be disappointed about the Tigers in any way, shape, or form, especially with the injuries that they've had? To be able to do what they've done with the injuries that they have and the pieces that they're missing is absolutely outstanding to me. And I told you a few weeks ago, I was a guy, I had a lot of doubts about this team, a lot of doubts on this team. And I kind of dropped it. Really and truly, I kind of dropped it. How about I just let it play out? And instead of worrying about things that haven't happened yet. And I've found myself enjoying the season a lot more so far. You know, I really have. You have talked about gaps between teams, and I think you saw that with the Pistons. Yeah, that's true. Lalone said 3 coaches usually go over the lineup before the coach looks at it for the final approval. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Ray. I think that's a good way to do it. You have 3 coaches do it, and you have somebody else do it. And then the coach yells out, oh, okay, as he said. Panthers better win. We went 2-0-1 versus Florida. Ray, I know this is going to sound really condescending, but I don't mean it to be condescending, okay? As a Maple Leaf fan, you should know that the playoffs are different. I know you're going to think that I'm taking a shot at you. I know you are, but I'm really not. You'll know when I'm taking a shot at you. I think what happens in the regular season doesn't mean anything. I just don't. And to all the people that have sat back and said the Florida Panthers have played too much hockey, I was surprised how disengaged Tampa became over that stretch, because there were a lot of people that said Tampa to win that series. There were a lot of people that said Tampa to win that series. So, yeah, Wednesday at 8 o'clock, Todd, just mental note, programming note. Is that cool? We'll get Bohenick on here, and we'll do that. Let me tell you about Lindsay Broadwell, because I want to go try to catch the rest of this. When it's time to get yourself a house, whether you're buying or selling, oftentimes both, you need to contact the right agent. Who do we recommend? Well, that young lady right there, Lindsay Broadwell. Your house is probably the biggest investment you'll ever make, and that's why you need a pro. Lindsay grew up on the mean streets of Northville and has expanded her team all over Southeast Michigan. She's an expert in all facets of the business. And when it's time to move, our friend Lindsay and her team will make sure you get the most out of your house and everything goes smoothly when finding your new home. Buyer, seller, even first-time buyer, doesn't matter. Just make sure you contact Lindsay at BroadwellHomes.com. She'll help you with everything from start to close. Licensed realtor at Real Broker LLC. Start your search today at broadwellhomes.com. You know what's really funny? A buddy of mine just texted me and said, I don't want to tell you what he wished bad things on Brunson, but let's just put it this way. He agreed with me on my sentiments about Brunson. Well, it's a 7-point game now. I don't want to tell you what he said he hopes happened to Brunson, but Brunson with 32 points right now. It's funny. We've talked about this for a while. I still don't think the Red Wings have a true rival as I sit here today on May 1st. Maybe the Knicks are becoming a Pistons rival. I don't know. Maybe right in front of our eyes. The Tigers are definitely devoid of a rival. Todd, you're a big baseball fan, right? Cleveland by default? Would you say Cleveland by default? Yeah, I don't know. When was the last playoff series? When was the Leafs' last playoff series before tonight? Thanks. Are you talking about when? 2 years ago. So they've won 2 series in 21 years. That's unbelievable when you think about it. Not so much going back into the aughts and the teens, because there were a lot of bad Leaf teams, but you have to like the talent that they have. At least what they show in the regular season. And this goes back to, and Ray, again, I'm not trying to take a shot, honestly. You guys should know better than anybody how good a team looks and how good players look. It's a different game in Stanley Cup playoff, and they haven't been able to translate it yet. I mean, they just haven't. You know, they got a couple series win, and that's it. Does Edmonton close it out tonight? Shows how McDavid just gets 2 shots and still be the most dangerous. It is incredible. The Leafs, you have company with the Kings. I'm so sick and tired of good Kings teams doing absolutely nothing. Personally, I think they've been a pretty dangerous team since they fired McClelland. And the old Northern Michigan guy, my buddy's roommate, by the way, when he played hockey at Northern Michigan. They've been dangerous the last 2 years, but they can't get it done in the playoff. It doesn't help that they face Edmonton, mind you. Ray, I'm hoping that LA wins because I want more Game 7s. You know how it is. I can't stand watching Game 7 when my team's in it. If your team's in it, oh, yeah, it's the greatest night ever. And Ray, now that your Leafs advance, you probably feel the same way. Yeah, last playoff series win was 2 years ago. Leafs won a series 2 years ago, and that was their first since 2004. And it's unbelievable. It really is. I like the Yankees. All the rest of the New York teams can go to hell. You know who I always had a soft spot for? I don't know why. Really and truly. The Mets. Because they're so overlooked in New York. I mean, they're just so overlooked. And I really like that park. Like, I'm not joking. I really, really like that car. Kevin said, is everything okay with Bates Burgers? Thankfully, Kevin, the Livonia icon stands. Pistons come roaring back. I love every second of that. So we're going to get done. We're going to get done pretty quick. Yes, no doubt about that. Kevin, Bates Burgers is fine. There was a fire in the kitchen. It burned the stove, but there was no damage to the infrastructure other than the stove and no damage to the facade itself. So they'll be serving burgers very, very quickly. Let me tell you about Wealth Advantage Group. If you're ready to take charge of your financial future, look no further than the Wealth Advantage Group. Located in historic downtown Northland, owned by the Hanson brothers right there with over 20 years of industry experience. They understand that your financial goals are as unique as you are. And that's why they offer personalized expert guidance to help navigate the complexities of financial planning. We've been talking to these guys for years. I say it all the time. Chances are you go meet with them, you become a client, they're going to take you to lunch. It doesn't matter if you're saving for retirement, you're getting ready to sell a company, you're already in retirement. These are guys that can help you through every step of your financial journey. They work with clients who are all stages of life and have clients in over 20 different states. The investment world, it is a complex one. So if you're ready to start taking your finances more seriously, it might be time to work with the experts. Reach out to the Wealth Advantage Group at 248-773-8574 or visit their website at www.thewealthadv.com. You guys, especially now with the uncertainties in the market and all the craziness going on, what better time than to reach out to the experts, reach out to those guys. They are going to take care of you. What do you got here for me, Todd? I feel like whenever the Tigers are in rebuild mode with a young team, they get treated like the little brother by the Indians, whose veterans take advantage of their inexperience. But when the Tigers are good and more experienced, we totally ignore Cleveland. It feels like Tiger fans think the Yanks are a rival from the days in the AL East together, but the Yankees have no time for it, and we're little brother again. You know, I think there's more validity to that than anybody wants to admit, even with our success against the Yankees in postseason play. I think there's more validity to that. Shawner versus NYC beef. Bill, I know you're basketball elite, but isn't that common knowledge? You don't have to be a basketball fan. Hey, this just in, the Knicks are soft. Who's going to get mad at that? They haven't won dick in 52 years. Like, they're constantly flaming out the playoffs. Why on earth would you get upset about that? Florida taking out the Lightning in 5 was huge. Jim, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. The reports of their demise were grossly overstated. And not just that, now you even get a chance to refill. That's huge for a team like that has played so much hockey. So much hockey. No lid tonight. Did I miss something? Sorry, GW. No, you know what? I just came back from a little night job. I was Professor Baligian tonight. No, seriously. I'm teaching a class at Schoolcraft. They asked me to be like an adjunct professor on speech and communication, and I'm teaching a class. Yeah, I'm incredibly professional. Todd, even verbalizing it, it's like, how the hell did that happen? And what were they thinking, asking the likes of me? Well, you've been in the business for 30 years and radio and TV. I'm like, I've sucked at everything I've done. Like, knock it off. Brunson is on a heater tonight. Oh, I'm growing a strong hate for him. If Tampa lets Cooper go, would you put it past Stevie to go after him even with McClellan? No. I hope the Pistons can win and have a good sports weekend, Sean. Yes. Wings are downright depressing right now. It is a little bit. Talk about disappearing act, LeBron James. I'm going to be really intrigued to see what he does. I have a feeling he comes back. The Astros are the Tigers' rival given the hinge factor. All right, Todd, hear me out. There might be some validity there with the hinge factor. And, oh, by the way, the fact that they played in the playoff last year, right? Bill? All right, I'm hearing you. How did the Panthers acquire Brady in the offseason? Could you imagine those two lunatics playing together? Oh, my gosh, would that be fun? Oh, my gosh. Ray said, I saw your post for last night's show. Feel honored. All in fun, Ray. You know me better than that, pal. You and I have been going back for many, many years. I saw a great post that said Jim Hiller is playing checkers while Chris Knobloch is also playing checkers. Jim Hiller also doesn't know how to play checkers. That's from Rob. Dude, I like the Kings. Mike has been high. My buddy Mike on What the Puck has been high on the Kings for 2 years now. He was ringing the bell last year. Maybe they go to the Stanley Cup Finals. There's something in the water. Jimmy, I want a Game 7 more than you could shake a stick at, because that means I get to have a barbecue and we get to have the watch party. How do you feel about it that it was ex-Cab Pacioretty that scored the winner to knock out the Sens? Good for him. Seriously. Like, Ray, can I tell you the truth? This is 100% the truth. And I hope my buddy Gordy, the Bruins fan, is still in there. Most Habs hate the Bruins infinitely more than they hate the Leafs. I'm sorry. I know how much you guys hate the Habs, and you hate the Sens as well, but most Habs, and I can tell you in Montreal for sure, they hate the Bruins. Even if they haven't played a playoff series in so many years, you know, it's crazy now. It's 11 years. They hate the Bruins. They hate the Bruins. The mid-'80s Mets resembled the type of team that became beloved in Detroit. Nails Dykstra would have been a legend in Detroit. Could you imagine that? Nails Dykstra is out of his mind. That would have been unbelievable. Sasha Barkov has been the most underrated player in the NHL for a dozen years at this point. Rob, my gosh, it's not even funny anymore. It's not even funny anymore. Like, knock it off. All right, I'm going to look at the score. I don't like to look at the score. Pistons are winning, by the way. What a run. That's the NBA. Zip, 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 zip. Todd, we're going to get off in a second, okay? So I want to go watch the rest of this. Go watch the Pistons. How many cups do the Avalanche have if Darcy stays in Colorado? That's a good question. The lack of premium on goaltender. What if Carolina had a goaltender the last 5 years? Like, seriously, they play so well for Rod. And that's and it seems like they add more every year. And like, here, let me give you an example. Like, we were just talking Logan Thompson or Freddie Anderson. Who do you got? And I'm the jackass that picked Carolina. Maybe I was thinking with my heart a little bit. I'm always going to have a soft spot for Carolina doing some of their broadcasts, but my gosh. 105, 103, is that what it is? Okay. This is why I don't watch games while I'm doing this, because now I'm going to tell you all to, frankly, fuck off so I can go watch it. And Todd, you can put that little swear jar up there. I will gladly. Yep, there we go. All About Catering LLC, full service caterer, graduations, weddings, bridal showers, corporate events, anything you need catering for from 25 to 4,000 people. All About Catering can and will take care of you. Listen, graduation season is coming. You have a kid that's graduating. Maybe you have a neighbor. Trust me when I say this. Call that number, because customer service and satisfaction is their number one goal. Don't sweat your next big event. Just go to allaboutcateringllc.com today to see their menus and all their 5-star reviews. Call them 586-731-1398 to get your event started. And you guys, here's the thing. Like, the things that I talk about on the show are things that I do. Like, seriously, those guys took care of me and our graduation party. They'll take care of you as well. Listen, we got to get out of here. You guys take care. So, Todd, we don't have anything tomorrow. If there's a Game 7 on Saturday, we'll have, like, the barbecue and the watch party so you guys can all come back, and I probably won't have any pants on. I'll see you guys. God bless you. Bye, 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 bye.
Off the Air with Sean Baligian. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Play It Loud by Jam Studio. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the Unsyndicated Podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Got something to say to Sean? Call the Unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.